Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be discussing as to whether Forex trading could be your main source of income. So Mubashir, what do you think on the subject?
So I've been trading for a while now, and like we've discussed before, that trading has now become one of my main sources of income. However, I wouldn't say it's guaranteed money on a regular basis, as we can't predict what the market is saying. We can predict as maybe 1 or 2% of what the market could be going in the direction, but I mean anything can happen in the market. And if you're relying on forex, you know and prices drops, let's say, you're losing significant amount of capital. And if you have rent to pay, bills to pay, if you got expenditure on the outside of forex, it wouldn't make sense to rely on just forex. But as you got businesses, and forex is not your main source of income, what do you think of saying that is a primary source of income?
Yeah, so say primary source of income, obviously that would then be your main source of income.
Yeah.
You'd rely on it, like you said, for expenses, etc., which I don't think is a rational decision.
Yeah.
Simply because the way I look at the forex market, it's more of a probability game. You want to be right more times than you're wrong, and when you
Yeah.
are right, again, your risk management would then allow for you to make more of a profit than you do your losses.
Yeah.
And because, again, we're retail investors, we're not large institutions, we don't have, I guess, the price points of where the market should potentially be in the future. And so we trade on market structure, price action, and we're not always going to be 100% right. And so primary source of income, I would say no. I mean, with my businesses, I can create a cash flow forecast for the next 5 years and predict that, okay, cool, my business will have consistent results based on what has happened, I guess, prior. And again, we shouldn't, obviously, past results don't predict the future, but you sort of know your demand. You'll know in terms of how many messages you're getting, in terms of interest for products, if you're getting people asking for items which are out of stock, etc., and how regular those items sell. You can use those metrics to determine how much you'll make. Can you do that with forex? I would say yes and no, but then the way the economy works, we could go through a cycle whereby the forex market just isn't what it once was a few quarters ago. And so to rely on it heavily, I would say no. Reason being, like you said, if you're somebody who's got regular expenses, for example, I've got my office, I had an apartment, etc., etc. Did I rely on forex to pay off all of these expenses? Most definitely not. But was forex trading making me the most money during these times? 100%. Last year, I was making more money in the forex market than I've ever made trading forex before. I was trading almost on a daily basis. Or if I wasn't actually in a position or opening a trade, I was at least analyzing the market, looking for opportunities. So I would say to rely on it as a primary source of income, most definitely not. Reason being, obviously, having regular expenses. But again, do you think that it should be a primary source of income even if you don't have those regular expenses?
Well, as I've been trading for a while, and I've come to a realization that if you have the equity, so the way I see forex is not actually making money, is like multiplying your money. And if you have £1 and you want to multiply it to £10, yeah, that can happen. But if you have £1 and you want to multiply it to 1,000 or even 10,000, 100,000, it slims down the probability of you making money. And I say that if you got the capital, let's say you have maybe £10,000 account, or even a 50, £60,000 account, then yes, you could potentially make that into your primary source of income, because if you do risk management of risking only 1% of your account, that's £1,000. Yeah. So you can you make £1,000 on a regular basis, risking only 1 or 2% of your account, or even 10% of your account, and have earnings of what people would make on a 9 to 5. But if you just have a small account, like most people start off at £250 or £200 or even £500, it's very unlikely to be setting yourself a goal that is double your equity already.
Exactly, yeah.
And if you're trading and you're giving yourself a goal of, okay, I've got £500 and I want to make £1,000 every day, does that seem realistic? Whereas if I say to myself, I got £500 and I'm going to make £50 a day, that sounds more realistic, because I'm only multiplying a small percentage of my account. And if I do blow the account, which is very, very unlikely, because I'm only risking 1 or 2% of my account, that's 100 trades, right? 100 or 50 trades you got to lose. And as we're traders, we know that 100 trades is that can happen in a month, or even if you're a scalper, a day. But it's very unlikely to have back-to-back losses. So I would say it can be a primary source of income if you have the equity there. But I wouldn't rely on it, and especially to get to that point where you have that equity, where you have, 50, 60,000, you've obviously had something behind. You know, you've had a business, or you're working, or you've been saving, your stock investments going on. And it wouldn't make sense for you to just stop your work and focus just on Forex, because it's not a guaranteed money-making scheme, getting rich overnight.
Agreed. Yeah. So I don't know. I would say, yeah, like you're saying, you could rely on Forex to be your main source of income. Even if you didn't have expenses, I guess I would still say no. I guess it depends on the trader. Like you're saying, if you've got a large amount of capital and you're just trading Forex as a means of, I guess, capital preservation, then it's like you could see a 10% gain and you could be like, do you know what, that's me for the month.
Yeah.
Literally 100K account and you're good for the month just trading a 10% profit. And even if you were to trade in excess of the amount that you'd actually wanted to trade and you were to still multiply your money, then again, that could then spill into the next month.
Yeah.
However, the only thing is, me looking at it from that sense, there could then be a psychological standpoint that could then affect your trading. For example, let's say you now lose 10%. You've had correct risk management, but you've just had a streak of losing trades for whatever reason. Now you're down 10%. That psychology may actually hit hard and then affect your level of trading. You may then begin to start trading whereby you're trying to then claw back on the capital
trading,
that you've lost, exactly, and revenge trading. And that's where you could then find yourself losing money, sort of then disbelieving your strategy, changing your strategy, and then continuing on those losses, and you could just spiral down to a really bad path. And so, I don't know, I'm always like one for psychology. Again, I've never really had a heavy hitting effect in terms of losses on the Forex market, but I like to avoid trading at times when, okay, cool, I might not be thinking straight for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Could have an exam coming up, could be quite stressed out for it. Let me sort of step back on the trading. I know when you were actually starting your academy, you'd actually not traded for a while. I remember checking in on you and you were like, bro, I need to get this video. I need to make sure that it's perfect for obviously your viewers. And so I would say, if you're working on a big project, etc., or you've taken a large amount of losses, either step back from trading because then that could really affect you long term, or look to pick up another stream of income. Maybe if you're even just working a day a week, doing something part-time, etc. But then again, that stream of income could have you sort of set good, so that, cool, worst case scenario, you can't trade Forex for whatever reason, you've still got something in the background just to sort of keep you afloat.
And just for the audience, how regularly do you think you should withdraw your money from your account, and how much do you think you should withdraw?
I avoid withdrawals. I avoid withdrawals unless it's very necessary. Again, the way I look at Forex is, I don't know, again, capital preservation. For me now, my account size is big enough to the point where I'm comfortable with the trades I take, etc. So I'm not necessarily trying to flip accounts, withdraw, sort of live life for the next year, flip another account. It's more just the sense that I want to place a few trades, continue to compound my account. Sometimes I do withdraw on a regular basis, but it goes straight back into another investment. So it's like the start of this year, the start of April, I had private equity investments open up to me. I had my stock ISA, which I really just want to max out, to be fair. And so as soon as the sort of tax year changed, cool, cashed in some of my Forex profits, invested, I think, about 30,000 in total back into private equities, back into stocks. And that was me, the start of the year, the start of my investing year, to be fair.
So that's similar to me. So when in my academy, I told all students that you want to trade and also, you want to withdraw money, but don't withdraw money. Like, let's say you've had £100 account and you made £200 and you now just taken out the £200. It wouldn't make sense to do that, because then you're back to square one. And now you're at a point where you have to restart the whole, making sure that you have the right risk management. And it's just, you want a steady growth rather than, making money, going back, making money, going back. And it doesn't make sense. And again, when I do withdraw my money, most of my money does get reinvested into stocks, into businesses that, the academy. And I just feel like, withdrawing with Forex and stock investments is more of a long-term thing. So even though we are making money on a regular basis, we want to get to a point where you have a large amount of equity where you can withdraw that money, maybe like 10% of what your account is. And then you can still be comfortable trading.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Because to be fair, when you're happy with the equity that you have, you could make any amount of money and then go back to the amount in which you started with, and you know that you're comfortable. And that's basically the position that I guess we're both at, to the point whereby we're happy with our initial equity balance. We could make, again, double our investment, withdraw that double, start back at square one, but it's really not square one. It's all the years that we've sort of put in to get to that point, to get to the point that we're comfortable with. And so, yeah, I 100% agree with that statement, to be fair.
Yeah, so back to the point, can it be a primary source of income? What would be your conclusion of this whole statement?
So my conclusion would be, again, like most of my conclusions, variable to the person.
Yeah.
So I would say yes, if your equity is large enough to the point whereby you're more than comfortable.
Yeah.
To the point where even myself, I wouldn't say I'm more than comfortable. I would say I'm at the level where I'm borderline comfortable.
Yeah.
So I would say I would probably need at least a £200,000-300,000 account, and I guess returning probably about even 20% on that account within the year for myself to be comfortable. But then I probably wouldn't be living how I'm living now. I'd probably step it back quite a bit, maybe even not get an office and just have a home setup. But yeah, I mean, I would say no if you're, I guess, borderline comfortable like myself.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of other businesses, other investments that I like to take care of. And that would be my conclusion. And yourself?
Yeah, so again, like you said, Forex is very unique to one person. It's not like a 9 to 5 where you got a lot of competition on you, right? Where, you're competing to get the same job. Forex is more unique to the person. It depends on your equity, how comfortable you are. I know traders that are comfortable trading £100, right? So they have an equity of £100 and they're comfortable growing that on a weekly basis to, having a profit of, £1,000 and ending the week with £1,000, which, makes sense for them. But in other people, it wouldn't make sense because they're there to, be in the long run. They're there to, make money in the long run. So, I mean, primary source of income, me personally, I wouldn't recommend it because you can't rely on the market, such as, there's pandemics going on, right? Now, if we didn't know that a pandemic was happening and we had, a lot of, let's say we bought a currency, right? Like, let's say GBP, JPY, and now that GBP became weak and we saw that drop, are we really relying on, keep on buying that stock, currency, and then we've got rent to pay, we've just made a loss, it works up your mind. And this is where a lot of traders then go to the path where it becomes gambling. And I feel like that path where you start risking equity that you don't have, and they start taking loans, they start playing with their credit, and and it wouldn't make sense for someone to be trading, as trading is meant to be something that you make money and you're financially free, right? A lot of traders, as you see, if you go on Instagram, social medias, they portray themselves as financially free. And now they didn't go through the path where they set it as their primary source of income. They probably had another source of income that is sourcing it, and they multiplied that money. So let's say I made 10,000 off, maybe drop shipping courses, or I bring that money into trading, trade it, for a month, make more, maybe 10% rate of return, and then, I withdraw my money, and that's my money in my pocket.
Yeah. So, to be fair, again, so I'm saying yes, variable to the person. Muller, I guess.
I would disagree. I would. It wouldn't make sense to have a primary source of income where, they say 9 to 5s are something that's income that is guaranteed. There are limiting factors to this. The company could go bankrupt, or you could lose your job because machines are taking over, or there could be someone who can take your place, and those limiting factors are very small compared to Forex is a bit more bigger, where it's larger, as price could just drop whenever they want. Banks could manipulate the market crazily, and we actually have a video on what manipulates the market, so go check that video out. And where anything can happen in the market, we can go for a crash.
Agreed.
I've seen there's a news article where a Chinese man, I think it's a Chinese man, where he lost 20 billion, I think it was, or 2 billion or something. I can't remember the price. We'll put the article on the screen, where he lost that in the Forex market. And see, stuff like that is never noticed. But when someone's made 50, 60,000, straight away people want to hop on it and then say, this is trading. But they don't really see the path that everyone has to go through in Forex, in trading, and you know we both had completely different paths, and this is what I like about Forex. It's all unique. There's no competition. You know, you could make 10,000, 20,000, and I could be making 5,000, 6,000. I'm not competing against him. I'm just going on my own path. There'll be a time where I will be making 10,000, 20,000, or he will be making what I'm making. But I think it's all about the individual path. And if you feel like trading can become your primary source of income, then yeah, go ahead and continue. But just remember, there's always drawdowns and risks to it.
Yeah, and I believe it's that psychological factor whereby it's like, okay, cool, I need to consider that trading may not just be a straight line path. And I think with that consideration, you'll be fine. As long as you know that you're in it, you're going to be in it, and there's going to be ups and downs. You're going to be sort of mentally ready and prepared to take on those losses.
Yeah, and to conclude this video, I hope you lot enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share this video out. It'll help the whole community. And we'll see you lot in the next video.